Okay. Good
Okay.
morning, everybody. This is Annette from the Game in the World team, and this is a training to review the Game in the World grid. I would like to welcome the co-creator of this Zoom, Emiliano. Thank you so much for setting up the technology to have this happen.
Thank you. I'm glad being here.
Great. And then we have some participants on the call, Adam, Tracy, Dana's in the background. And so I would request, Tracy, could you please generate the team's possibility for the action quarter?
Sure. Team North America, Florida Caribbean is the possibility of causing global miracles with commitment, integrity, contribution, and fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for generating the possibility. So welcome everybody to the call. Is everybody able to see my Game in the World Action Quarter screen? It would say who's playing. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I can go over my Game in the World and my understanding of how to complete this grid using my game, or I can work with somebody on the call. Which would you prefer?
You could use mine if you want.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go over to yours, Tracy. I'm just pulling it up, everybody. For some reason, oh, there it is. Can you let me know, Tracy, when you can see your own grid?
I can see it.
Okay, great. All right, so as we go through this grid, this will be a way that you can review your grid as well as your Coco's grid to make sure that all the pieces of this is complete. We have a deadline of 9 p.m. tonight to have reviewed our Coco's grid. So Tracy, could you go ahead and share with me your Game in the World?
Yes. My Game in the World is to help decrease the nursing turnover. And right now I'm doing this at St. Mary's Medical Center.
Okay.
It's called the CARE program, and it's really communication, accountability, responsibility to create excellence.
Beautiful.
So that's my game, is to really decrease it. Right now we're at a 35% turnover across the United States, and it's not okay because the patients are being affected.
Okay, I got that, definitely. So we have your name here, we have the quarter. You put first in the quarter. On my grid, I put that this is the action quarter.
Oh, okay.
And then I put down where I am in the team game. So I put down that I am quarter two, team one, quarter two, which can be abbreviated T1Q2, and you're T1Q1.
Got it. Thank you.
Right? Your committed colleague is listed here. Excellent. Your coach is listed here. So the name of your game is CARE, Communication, Accountability, Responsibility to Create Excellence. And what is your why? Your why is that there's a 35% turnover in nursing, and your why is to create unity and team with the CARE program on the front line of healthcare. So that is excellent. You had explained when we were just talking a minute ago, the why was the impact on the patients.
Right.
I would say that would be a great thing to add to your why. There's a turnover, but why is that a problem?
Short staff, so patients get, so like if you, with the turnover and the loss of nursing, you might have like a ratio of 1 to 4 nurses, but because we're so short staffed because of the turnover, you'll go to 1 to 6, and then the patients suffer because you're not able to give the care that they need.
Right.
1 to 4 ratio.
Right. So the why could expand a little bit to say patients are getting hurt by
Right.
this.
Safety
You
issue.
know, it's patients are having that impact. Another why could also be that the nurses that are having to work under these strenuous conditions are going to burn out
Yep.
faster, accelerating the turnover issue.
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
hmm
Got
So, so I would maybe just expound a little bit more on the
Got it.
why, if anything that I shared resonates with you, or
It
if
does.
anything else pops up out of us reviewing this, okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. So team unfolding, what teams are inside your game? So you have the logistics team, forum team, game of the world team. So in this section is actually about the teams in your game itself.
Okay.
So, yeah, so not necessarily teams in your team management leadership program,
Okay.
but the teams in your game. So just off the top of my head, or maybe you could share with me, there would need to be a team that maybe would reach out to the nurses to have them join the program. Or how is
Right.
it structured? Like, is there a marketing team to promote the idea? Is
Well,
there
a marketing team would be something I would definitely need. And then a technology team, because we do collect
awesome? So you're
a
starting to
technology.
see. So you need a
Got it.
technology team, you need a marketing team. You may be, I'm not clear, but with this program, you may need a team of people to create the curriculum for the program.
I've been kind of doing this since SELP, and SELP, I've kind of unfolded it from there. And so now the curriculum is pretty set. So the curriculum team, I have the curriculum all made out.
Awesome. So the curriculum is done, but that's an aspect of your game.
Yes.
The communication, the technologies a part of your game. The marketing is a part of your game. So that would be what would go in that section.
Got it.
And you can have maybe 4.
Okay.
Can I add something there?
Sure, Emiliano.
Okay. So I created this grid with Moran, and when we were creating the grid, it was Moran, John, and I created this grid. We thought about one of the things that happens the most is that whenever we're creating our game is really big, and that's awesome, and that's why the name of the game is the game, right? And what's the why of that game? You write it down. Now, inside of that game, there's different smaller games that need to be played, same as TMLP, right? Our game on TMLP is certain, and then inside of TMLP, we have different teams, right? The team of CAP, CPC, Landmark Forum. So it's the same thing here. Your game, like TMLP, in this case is CARE program, right? That's the game.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, inside of CARE program, there's going to be different accountabilities or teams that you need to develop for CARE to happen. So if you want to be more specific, even what is the communication team accountable for? What are they going to be doing? So what's the outcome of communication team? So for example, it could be like something around the lines of, spreading the word of this program to 100 hospitals, right? That could be one thing. Or spreading the word of this program to 1,000 hospitals, 10,000 hospitals, whatever it is. That's one team, right? Then the next team, the marketing team, right? Putting our social media, Facebook, website together. That's another team.
Got it.
And putting Facebook ads or whatever it's going to be. That's something else. Then another team could be developing the program and creating the vision of this project. That's another team. And what we're going to be doing in this quarter is you're going to be choosing one of those teams that you want to play inside of the game in the world structure, so that you can actually make that happen. And inside, outside in your life, you can also play the other games. But in this game in the world structure, you're going to be playing one of those games are gonna forward your bigger game. And that's why we have, 2 years in TMLP to be able to play each one of those 4, 5, 6, 7 smaller games that are gonna fulfill our bigger game. Does that make sense?
Yes, I got it. And that's exactly, yes, that's perfect.
Awesome.
Awesome. So as we move going forward, and so what you can do, Tracy, is taking the input that we're giving you, you can continue to unfold and deepen each aspect of what we're covering, okay?
Got it.
So
And by
then
the way, you can also create more games, not just 4. You can always add a new row.
Okay.
Okay, so if you want to have more than 4 games, you can always add more. Yeah.
Okay.
all right, so what is your why for the quarter game in the world? So kind of springboarding off of what Emiliano said, we are going to, now that we kind of have an overview of our entire game in the world and the different teams that we have, that we are going to be creating inside of the entire game, I'm going to request that you pick one mini game out of the entire game. Which mini game would you like to work on?
So let me just clarify that what I understand. So of the teams, then there's a mini game. So if I want to focus this quarter on my communication to really spread the word, that would be what I need to pick.
Correct. So
okay.
That is going to be your quarter game.
Okay.
And in the next line, it says, what is your why for your quarter game? So we already know the why of your entire game. 35% turnover doesn't work for the patients, doesn't work for the nurses. So now in your quarter game, communication is, if we don't communicate this game to the world, it's not going to expand and grow, right?
Exactly.
So that is where you would put your why for your communication aspect of your game.
Okay.
And then as we move down to the possibility, that's excellent, possibility of love, unity, and power. And the outcome for the completion of the game, completed the program in 1 year, every nursing unit has the care program effective with less than 15% turnover. So this is excellent in terms of your completed game, and then you would just need to modify your outcome for your quarter to reflect that you're working on the communication aspect of your game.
Okay, so just add okay, got it.
Yes, and then one of the things that Moran really emphasized to me, which I didn't really have grounded when I played my game last quarter, is that we want the outcome to be specific on our vision, but we don't want it necessarily linked to a number. The number will be in further down in this process. That number will be associated with a milestone.
Okay.
But we want to, but let me give you an example. In my game, my quarter goal is that by the end of the quarter, I have generated between $5,000 and $7,000 a month income to my family. But my why is that I want to generate that income so that I'm able to create my own schedule and be there for my children with freedom and ease. So go ahead. So my outcome, give me one quick second. So my outcome is to have financial stability with freedom and ease so I can be home and make money and be there for my kids. That's my outcome. And then my milestone would be the $5,000 to $7,000. So let's say I made $4,999. Did I win my game? Yes, if I have freedom and ease around my finances, yes. It's not the hitting the exact target of the number, it's getting the outcome that I'm creating. Does that make sense?
Yes, so for example, change that to take the numbers out because that would be my milestone.
Correct.
And so to change that to be like communication to everybody in the hospital by the February 23rd to understand what the care program is and to have it implemented by their manager or director at that point in time.
Exactly. So that's the outcome. And then you have the milestone of the measure. How do you know that that outcome has been achieved? Well, it's been implemented and now there's only a 15% turnover.
Okay, got it.
Is that clear?
Can I share something as well?
Sure, Emiliano.
So basically here in this two cells, it's like the most critical part. Well, one of the most critical part that you're really clear on what the outcome for the complete game looks like and what the outcome for this quarter, the game that you chose for this quarter looks like. And you know, it can be whatever you want it to be. And the more specific you are, the more targeted you're going to be. So for example, the example that Annette gave us of making 7,000 on residual income every month, is that right?
Correct, yes.
Okay. So like that's her game for this quarter. And the game for the complete game is what?
Is having $15,000 a month income generated from home.
Awesome. So that's I just want to put it like that's a little generic in a sense because there's no like structure, like how is that going to happen. So maybe what I would add into that is say like are you going to generate this money by selling, or you're going to get an increase in your job, or is this your business? How is it going to get generated?
So it's going to happen from my home-based businesses. And so from my understanding with Moran, what she wants to create is the outcome is based off of your why. And so when you have that, like why would somebody want to lose weight? You know, having the outcome as 15 pounds lost does not speak to the outcome. Why do you want to lose the weight? Okay, I want to look sexy and beautiful at my 30th high school reunion. That's the outcome. A measure of that would be 15 pounds lost.
What's the outcome? Yeah, the outcome should be like a measurable result, something that you can measure. If your outcome is not measurable, then you can't really determine if your outcome was fulfilled or not. And the milestones are going to be a breakdown of your outcome. So if your outcome is to lose 30 pounds, one of your milestones is by next week, I'm going to be losing 5 pounds. The next milestone is going to be 10 pounds. The next milestone is going to be 15 and 30, right? That's what the milestone is, like a breakdown of the ultimate outcome of that quarter. And then that quarter is a breakdown of the different games that you're going to be playing to complete that big game that you're playing.
Right. So Moran actually explained it to me differently.
Okay.
Because let's say the outcome is that I've lost 50 pounds. If I put down 50 pounds as my outcome, if I lost 49 pounds, not 50, did I lose my game? No. The outcome is I want to feel great in my clothes. I want to feel sexy. I want to have energy. And then a milestone to demonstrate that would be the 50 pounds.
Got it.
And so what was happening in previous quarters is that people put a specific number. I want to have like $20,000 in sales in my business. And they generate, and why did they want that 20,000 sales? So that they could pay their bills, travel, have fun, feel freedom and ease around their money. That was the outcome that they wanted. So if they made 15,000 instead of 20, did they lose their game? No, they won their game. They hit their outcome, and they had a target of a specific number, but it was in the milestones, not in the outcome.
Got it. So it's a little different from what I was saying, and I get what she's saying. And so it's basically what Donna was creating is like a gray area instead of being black or white. And it's more like the experience as well, you know, like I'm going to put my example. My example for this quarter is to work with 25 families and have them experience, like first of all, it was going to be healing 25 families. How am I going to measure that? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have families experience more connection, affinity, and love between one another. And my goal is to transform 25 families, right? So out of that, if I transform 24, but they all experience love transformation, love communication, and peace of mind between one another, then for me, I'm fulfilled with my game that I won my quarter, right? Even though numerically I didn't win it.
Yeah, so numerically, that would be a milestone 25. But your outcome was to have families experiencing, the love and the connection. So that's what the outcome is. And then the measure of how you saw that manifested would be 25.
Got it. So I'm gonna double check that with Moran because I think it's important to also put an outcome for the quarter game, because if not, then your milestones are just like loose. You don't know. Okay, I could do 10 and then 25 and then 50. If I don't have a target that I'm going for, then my milestones can't be based on anything. It's just
your milestone, your final milestone for the end of the quarter, future fulfilled, is
the final one.
25 families, and then you break down the milestones in your quarter based off of that. So by classroom 3, you have 15. By classroom 2, you have 10. By classroom 1, you have your team for your game created.
All right, cool.
You still are grounded in numbers, but the numbers are going to be in your milestones.
I get it now.
Not in your outcome. Not in the experience you're going to have in the outcome.
Got it. Okay, so instead of putting in the outcome, it's going to be in the 4th milestone, the milestone that is the last one.
You got it.
Okay, great.
All right, so we got clear for each other. So yay. So is I just want to check in. Is what I'm sharing providing clarity to this process?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me that feedback. All right, so we now know that we got more clarity on the outcomes. Now let's talk about the resources I am for team. So that's excellent. Accountability, financial freedom, prayer. Okay, great. And so Moran, how she elaborated on this with me is she said, the resources I am for team. Let's say that I am an amazing accountant, or I'm an expert in social media, or I am a phenomenal public speaker when it comes to health. That would be a resource that I could be for team. So let's say somebody says, I got to go give a speech in front of for my game in the world. Who can I reach out to who can coach me on that? Well, they could reach out to me because I'm proficient in the area of health, giving speeches. That's what is meant by the resource I am for team.
Okay.
Resources that would support me in my game in the world would be also, let's say your game in the world, the part you're managing is actually setting up the business structures for your business, like if it's going to be a corporation or a 501c3. So if you're going to make it into a charity, the resources you may need from team would be somebody who's created a 501c3 and who can direct you to the resources or give you guidance in that area. Does that make sense?
Yes. So like a resource I am for the team is I'm a diabetes educator and a communicator when it comes to health.
Awesome. Exactly. And then the resources you may need for this part of your game, let's say if it was the marketing part, well, is there somebody on team who's really good at social media? You know what I'm saying? So that's where what's meant to be in that section. I want to acknowledge that it's 8:26, and I want to really have value to complete this in the time frame of this call. So I'm gonna go through it a little faster, but I certainly don't want you to lose any value. Okay?
Got it.
So as we come here to conversations and practices, this is what you're taking out of existence, forcing an outcome. Yep, awesome. Everything you did here of avoiding, resisting, and then what you're going to bring into with the new model, giving things up, dancing in the conversation, being forgiving. Very good. Leader of the team is you, and then what you're going to put in here is actually the team members that you are going to have as a part of your team and the game and the world. And that team is not going to be anybody on this team.
Okay.
It's going to be the nurse colleague who's the nurse manager,
Mm-hmm.
or the hospital educator.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's meant by team members in this section. Okay?
And those team members are, and I don't know if this is clear yet, Annette, those team members are going to be the team members that are going to play with you for this quarter's game, not your big game, but this quarter's game.
Okay,
right. And you may have an overarching leader. Let's say you've enrolled a hospital administrator who like really gets where you're coming from. They're not going to necessarily play on this game, but they're your sounding board as you unfold your game. They're on your team. Yeah. And then if you really want to really make this powerful, you can, when you list the name of the person on your team, you can also list what role you see them playing on this team. Okay. So if it's Donna Small and you want to enroll her specifically in reaching out to all the other administrators and creating a group so that you can have her as a little mini leader of your game for her to generate an aspect of your game. And get that clear for yourself.
Okay. And I think you forgot to just mention feasible opportunities.
Oh yes, I missed that. So feasible opportunities are going to be related to your game, not through landmark. So what is feasible opportunities? Maybe you could host a Zoom call and invite people to hear about what you're up to and your vision. And then from there, invite people to play on your game.
Okay, so that would be my weekly meetings. Like I've already initiated weekly meetings with the directors, with the managers. So
awesome. So that is for your game, the feasible opportunities.
Okay, got it.
So in my understanding, it would be like more broad, not just like meeting with this person, but it can also be like weekly meetings with the staff. It can be meeting with this particular person, meeting with this other person, traveling to New York to go see other hospitals, right? Like it can be really broad and specific at the same time. Like just any feasible opportunity. A book could be a feasible opportunity.
Right. Now, I have a question because my thing is I can't do this myself. So all these people, these directors I'm meeting with, Donna Small, they're actually learning the program, and they're actually the ones that are going to lead them at their level. Because I'm Tracy RN, and they have to lead it to make it work because they're at the top to actually roll.
Well, that's excellent, Tracy. So this is why I'm so excited that you're on team, because you are developing yourself to be masterful as a leader, creating teams to have this happen, because this is a big project, and through team and teamwork, this is how it's going to unfold. So through the clarity of saying, okay, what role do you see Donna Small playing? Then you can use the technology for accomplishment, getting related, possibility, opportunity, action, and completion.
Okay.
Right? You see how now the technology for accomplishment starts to come in, because you're going to say, hey, Donna, you know, for me is like an amazing leader, and I see this is possible, and the possibility is that we impact this area, and the action, the opportunities are monthly meetings, and the actions would be and then the completion. Do you get that?
Got it.
Awesome. All right, so I just want to acknowledge it is 8:31, so we are 1 minute over our time frame of 8 to 8:30. I'm requesting another 5 to 10 minutes in order to complete reviewing this. If you have to leave this call, I understand. If you can stay on so we can complete. Are you able to complete with me, Tracy?
Yes, I am.
Awesome.
Align.
Awesome. Thank you so much for aligning. All right. So I just want to let you know, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And I'm at my friend's home, and I have kids in the background, and they're being amazing as I'm leading this. So if you hear any little kid sounds, that's the reality. Anyway, so let us now get to the final piece, which is the conversations for action. I completed my milestone of right there. So earlier in the conversation, I had Emiliano and I really broke it down, the importance of the milestones. So the milestone right here, by the end of the quarter, San Diego, I completed my milestone of, and then there's a line there.
Yes.
That is where I put in my measurable outcome, my measurable result in my game, in that line right next to, I completed my milestone of that blue line here.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where you would put, okay, standing in the future fulfilled, I'm looking at my world, okay, what do I have? I have 25, tell me what would be standing in the future fulfilled for this quarter. What is a done deal by February 23rd, 2018 in this game?
Mine would be that I have on the 7 major nursing units the care program initiated by with the support of their director, the support of their manager, and started by their assistant nurse managers, and that the care program 2 meetings have been met, that they're starting their weekly meetings with their frontline staff.
Awesome. So for your mini game of communication, that would be your milestone, that it's a done deal, future fulfilled.
Okay.
So you will put that in that space.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
And it's the green one, not the blue one. I know Annette said blue.
Yes.
The green
The green one.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, working backwards now, with that future fulfilled,
Mm-hmm.
then we work to classroom 3, classroom 3.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the future fulfilled at the end as X, now working backwards, where are you at classroom 3?
Okay, so then I just work backwards and then make
Yes,
Okay.
right. And so that's the milestone for classroom 3. Now working backwards based off of the future fulfilled, where are you at classroom 2?
Okay, got it. So then stick my milestones in for each one.
Yep.
Exactly. Is that clear?
Yes.
Great. Now that you are going to get those milestones for future fulfilled.
Is that clear for everybody else too? Just want to check.
Yeah.
Awesome. So then you're going to work backwards from the future fulfilled February 23rd, then to classroom 3. What is the measurable result based off of the numbers? So let's say, so you gave a good example, Emiliano, which is really easier to deal with in terms of weight loss. So my outcome is that I want to feel sexy and amazing and alive and feel really good in my clothing for my high school reunion. And my specific measurable result is that I am 40 pounds lighter, wearing a size 6 dress, and I have an energy level of 8 consistently. So working back to classroom 3, if I'm at 40 pounds, then classroom 3, I'm down 25 pounds. And then by classroom 2, I'm down 15 pounds. And then by classroom 1, I'm down 5 pounds. Those are the milestones.
Yeah.
Is that clear?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, in filling out your grid, you were only required to complete the actions up until classroom 1.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
if you want to be an A student and have it completed all the way through the quarter, awesome. But it's only mandatory to have the actions completed up till classroom 1. And then you have some time to continue to unfold it.
Okay.
So you did perfect here in terms of completing the actions, met with Donna on this date, met with the director manager on this date, prepare the PowerPoint on this date, and then you're grounding it with the conversation of possibility. Now, with the, hold on one second. Andreas, I'm on a call. Sorry about that. So fulfilled on conversations for here, possibility being related opportunity.
I actually did it.
Perfect. Because you're grounding these actions in an aspect of the technology for accomplishment.
Yeah.
So it's no longer a possibility because I met with her yesterday. I completed it.
Yay! So you're already in action to get everything in place for to reach your reach the milestone for classroom 1.
I have a question.
And then like when I did this the other day, I already am in action, but the other day I wanted to have a PowerPoint because when I wanted to meet with her, I wanted to take this to corporate level. So Monday we have corporate coming and she's given me the opportunity for 10 minutes to share what the care program is to improve the patient, patient satisfaction.
Wow.
Okay. Wonderful. So all that I see for you to really flesh this out and have it be like ready for approval would be to really clearly delineate your milestones.
Okay.
And then just flesh out your the members of your team.
Okay.
And then just some of the little tweaks that we mentioned earlier in the call. And to me, if you were my Coco, I would say that this is approved for you to be able to now pass along to your coach to get approved.
Okay.
Would you agree, Emiliano?
Yes, no.
Okay, great.
I think Adam has a question.
Yeah, I had a question in filling out the actions to take, the conversations to have during the until the first meeting. And
Yes.
I seem to have a lot of room in mine. There are a lot of blank spaces because I'm not.
Let's go to Adam's so we can see what he's referring to on the
Yes.
on his grid. He's going to be at the beginning. Yeah.
T1. There we go.
There you go, Adam.
Yay.
Okay, Adam, can I just quickly peruse your game?
Please.
Okay, great. So we have Central Florida Cremation and Burial Services. People listen to their greatness. They're accepted for who they are and are not. Awesome. Teams inside your game.
Yeah, I listed the teams on the left and then I put down their names on the right.
Okay, awesome. So business owners, funeral directors and CFOs, business consultants, and accountability coaches. So, and when I cover this, so our games are really important to us. So whatever feedback I'm going to give you, I'm just giving it to you so that I want you to win, okay? So the game, how I would relate to the whole thing about your game and the people and the game would be, in your game, what are the teams that need to be created? So for example, I overheard you on a call, and this is a business that you're creating from nothing, correct?
Correct.
So there, in my mind, there would be a team that would need to be there to be able to establish the business. When you start a business, you have to have the corporation, the business paperwork, how you're going to set up the tax structure. In the funeral business, you have to have certain licenses and
Right.
all of that. So that is like the business creation team. And there maybe even, it could even be broken up into smaller teams. Then over here, there would be a team that would need to create your unique structure. When somebody comes in and they say, my loved one died, how is your business going to be unique to other funeral homes? That's a team. And there's a team over here to market it, to market your business. So that's how I would break down the teams.
Great.
As teams of your game.
Yeah.
Is that landing, Adam?
Yeah, I've got those people that I just didn't label them like that.
So let me just explain one more time from this other perspective. It's the same thing Annette is saying. I'm just gonna share. So basically, Adam, what you're doing is you're creating a whole new business, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in order to create a business, there's different things that need to happen, right? You need to open the corporation, like Annette was saying. You need to find the location where you're gonna, rent. And that could be another team, like having a place to be rented. Then you need to do marketing. There's a marketing team. And then you need to do calls and sales, right? And then there's a sales team. And then you need to do this and you need to do that. Now, in the game in the world for TMLP, you're going to choose one of those to play. Outside in your life, you can play all of them, right? You don't have to limit yourself to just the quarter we're in right now. You could have all 4 or 5 teams playing if that's what you want to do in your, in your life. And then you can have all your game fulfilled by the quarter. You just have to take a lot of actions. But for the sake of TMLP, you're going to choose one of those smaller games to be fulfilled by February. So you are actually going to fulfill on it. So if it's like the first game you're going to choose is like, creating the corporation and finding the location, that could be just one game. Then you put it there. And then by the end of the quarter, you have a corporation and you've rented a space, and then you're ready to start marketing it and whatever it is. So you got to just think, like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do. I've got some of them are all involved with those areas, but like Joseph, he's in a couple in finding a location and establishing the S Corp.
Awesome.
So
awesome.
Absolutely.
So I would just say, with the feedback that we gave you, kind of look at how you can structure it so that you can clearly kind of see those separate teams within the overall game. And then you're going to pick one of that mini game, and you're going to unfold it through your quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Was that your question initially, or you want to go to the bottom?
Yeah, my question was down at the bottom.
The bottom.
Yeah, in the week to week, day to day, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of blank spaces.
Okay. So what I see is to be added is the milestones. So standing in the future fulfilled for your mini game, what February 23rd, 2018, what is the future fulfilled? So let's say in your overall game, your mini game is have the location secured and ready, preparing it to open for business. Then that would be, and I'm just making it up. This is not, I'm just saying it just so I can explain what I mean by the milestones better.
Yeah.
So you want to have the milestone be specific and measurable. I have a building. I have my permits done for this business that I could open up 3 months after or a month later. That could be your milestone future fulfilled for February 23rd. And then coming backwards, your milestone for classroom 3 is that your permits are in and being reviewed by the city, and you're starting to clear the building. Your milestone for classroom 2 would be that you have 3 buildings that you've identified, and you're narrowing it down to which one you're going to pick. And then your classroom 1 could be you're working with the realtor to look for the building.
Right. I want to get my building chosen immediately.
Okay, so I just gave that as an example so that you could see the unfolding, working with the future fulfilled backwards with the milestones.
Yeah.
You will put in your specifics based off of your game, okay?
Yeah. Okay, so
But then when you have the milestones from future fulfilled unfolded to the different benchmarks of classroom 3, classroom 2, classroom 1, then from there you will then know the actions to take to fulfill, to hit the milestone.
okay.
So maybe what I'm hearing, Adam, is that playing one of those mini games is small for what you're up to. Maybe what you could do is join 2 of those mini games into one. And I don't like the word mini game. It sounds like diminishing. I would like to call it something else, like a game inside of your overall game, right?
Yes.
I like that better because
I like that too.
yeah. So instead of that game, you could actually maybe merge 2 of those, smaller games, so that you can hit this quarter by the end of February 23rd. You have completed 2 of those smaller games because you merged them together, and then your milestones need to be accordingly to those 2 games already merged. So if it's going to be opening the location, having the business papers, and also marketing to 100,000 people around the area, that could be one of your games. Now, I think that your overall game should be like transforming or not transforming, but having 20,000 clients. That could be your overall game. So that way you're clear about it. So what steps are you going to take for you to get there, right? Does that communicate?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you have any additional questions, Adam?
No. I just I'm inspired that as it unfolds, I'll know what to do, and I'll be able to fill up that grid and get to where I'm going to be.
Awesome.
Defined.
Very cool. And this is a very exciting project. And you had, and just to add something, in your why, you said people are listened to for their greatness. They're accepted for who they are and who they're not. I would just love to know in your why is that important for humanity? Why is that important for the community that you're living in? Like, what is the already always way that it is that your way is going to be unique?
I put it down in my possibility that people are connected. That
Awesome.
people are, that funeral directors, where did I put it? Maybe it wasn't there. Yeah, that funeral directors are actually connect to the people that they talk to. That they're not something that they have to work through, but they're actually people that they're dealing with.
Wow.
Lives, and they're important, and sharing themselves so that they're part of that family, that they understand. And I when I said I wanted to be on fulfillment team, then it was about connecting and being
very cool. Very cool. Well, I am excited for your game, and thank you so much for letting us share your game as we go over this training. So, Emiliano, is it okay if I wrap up this training?
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much for everybody who joined. And if you're watching this on a recording, thank you for watching it. We will have another live training Friday morning between 8 and 8:30. I will be leading it via Zoom. And if you have any questions about anything that you saw in regards to your specific game, please reach out to myself or Moran, and we will have somebody from the Game in the World team reach out to you to support you. Just know the deadlines that you need to review your Coco's game, provide feedback, and you will take the feedback you have from your Coco and make the changes so that your game is ready to be submitted to your coach. Do you know the deadline for the submission to the coach?
The deadlines are all right there. Yeah.
Perfect. So the deadline for tonight is that you have completed your feedback to your Coco committed colleague and updated your game in the world. And then by 3 p.m. tomorrow, you've submitted your game in the world to your coach for approval. Thank you so much for joining this. I'm excited for what we're creating with Game in the World, that everybody wins. Have a